Greetings, Cancer, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to find out some of the things the year 2020 is going to hold for you. Please remember that this is a general read and not every detail will fit, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Alright, so to get started, I would like to explain what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to, out of this deck, I'm going to pick 2 cards. This will give me a general theme, 1 or 2 ideas or themes that Spirit wants to talk about for the year 21 for you. Now, this by no means that, this is the only thing that's going to happen, but this is something that wants to be looked at, brought up, so you can see. After that, I'm going to pick a card for each season as a kind of general overview for the season. So a card for January, February, March, a card for April, May, June, so on and so forth. After that, I'm going to pick tarot cards to further clarify those monthly or quarterly cards. After that, I do want to pick a couple more cards from my fairy deck, as they would like to have a say as well. So let's get started with this deck, and we will pull 2 cards to get the main idea or a couple of themes for Cancer for 2021. Spirit, give me a couple of cards to talk about for 2021 for Cancer. First off, Shadow Treasures. Can you see that? It's like little gold flecks, like in the tree and the roots. Next up, we have Divine Protection. This is another pretty dark card, but still protected. Divine Protection. Okay. Alright, so as Shadow Treasures. So this card is about finding those little gems, those little things that make it all better, even though it's looking at the dark side of yourself. So this is more about the shadow side, about learning and growing and accepting all the parts of you that you may not necessarily like or think are likable or could be accepted by somebody. So this year you're going to be learning about those little treasures that you get when you look at your shadow self and acknowledge, accept, and grow from that. Now, it can be a very, very scary process, but you are under divine protection. This is where you need to go, and whatever it is that you believe in, angels, God, the universe, the source, whatever, they are around. They are protecting you. There are those circles there. You're standing in those circles of light, the protection of the higher realms. As you work through these shadow and these things and learn and grow, you are not alone. Okay? So this year might be kind of a pretty in-depth year for you, for Cancer. All right, let's draw the first card for January, February, March 2021 for Cancer. Spirit, give me a card for the first quarter of 2021 for Cancer. Spirit, I would like to pick a card for Cancer for the year 2021 to represent January, February, March of that year. 1 card for January, February, March, Cancer 2021. First 3 months. Okay, first card. Transformation. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay. January, February, March. Transformation, Pluto. So This planet has a lot to do with the idea of transformation, which is typically death of one area or one thing or one belief or one behavior, and transforming that into something more beautiful, more positive. Like, you know, it's, typically for cards like these, you'll see a butterfly because the transformation process. You're going from the cocoon. You've been in a cocoon. Maybe you don't want to look at the, you know, you've got stuff that you want that is there and you don't want to look at it. You don't realize that you have the protection you need. And through this you're going to start transforming by looking at and starting to trust that you're protected, and seeing these aspects of yourself that you feel are negative or unwanted or undesirable, and turning them and transforming them into little treasures. That's that transformation process. All right, let's look at April, May, and June. Let's look at the spring months of 2021 for Cancer, Spirit. I'd like a card for April, May, June of 2021 for Cancer. Let's see how this progresses. Oh, this one. 12th house, escape. Okay. So 12th house is Piscean energy, so they're the dreamy type of people, but very artistic, and tend to go towards escapism for dealing with some issues. Maybe this transformation, and as you get comfortable in the beginning of the year, as you're transforming, there's still some things by April, May, and June that, you know, these shadow treasures, I think you're still trying to escape or run from yourself. So this transformation is still ongoing. Yeah. I wish I had more, but I'm going to need some more cards before I can give you some more about how that escapism works. Okay, let's look at the summer months. Spirit, I'd like a card for July, August, September for Cancer for 2021. A card for Cancer for July, August, and September 2021 for Cancer. Well, that one is oddball, so I'm going to pull that one. Okay, July, August, September. Leo, I will. Okay, so your strength of will is going to come in later on, after some of this escape that is going to, if I say escape like you're trying to get out of something, but there's also a sense here of escape that you just need to escape for a little bit because this is so hard. So it's not, escape is not necessarily a negative. And if I kind of implied that, I'm sorry. It's just, it is hard to deal with some of this stuff. It is hard to go through the transformation process, and sometimes escape is necessary. Just don't go overboard, really. That's what that message is. Now, your will, you will find your strength, your courage, your will to overcome your shadow, all these ideas that you have about yourself that aren't necessarily a positive thing, that you see as a shadow side or a dark side. Your strength of will, your ego is going to, you know, your will, you're going to start to come out, and I don't want to say face, because you are facing these, although in this realm it is harder to face. It's like, I don't want to look, but it keeps coming at me, where this is, okay, I'm ready to look at this straight on. I'm tired of this game, and I want to move on. I want to grow. I want to get to the point where this isn't an issue for me anymore. All right, let's draw one more card for October, November, December 2021. Spirit, I would like a card for, well, I guess that's it. Because it just fell out. All right, so October, November, December, lunar eclipse, change. So having that will and deciding that you are ready to head that face on lunar eclipse in October, November, December. So change is happening. It does go along with the whole transformation. This is the moon. This is the darker, I think, you know, this is the sun. I'm ready to face my more darker, more shadow ideas or beliefs or behaviors. Because you're willing to face it, the change is going to come. And it's definitely an internal shift. It's moon energy, like moon, right? You choose to really face this, and change is going to happen. You know, a lunar eclipse. It doesn't happen very often, but so yeah, change is inevitable. Okay. Let's move on to the tarot and let's get some more clarification on this. Let's see. Spirit, I would like 3 cards for January, February, March of 2021 for Cancer. Under transformation, what's going to be transforming, having to do with the shadow self, being protected by higher realms. Okay. We have the first one. This one fell out. 8 of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Okay. So, this transformation is a mover, a shaker. This is going to happen fast and with a lot of forward momentum. Or it's going to feel like things are happening fast, starting at the beginning of the year. There is an excitement about it. I feel like you're going to start feeling like, oh wow, this is actually really happening. Change is happening, and I can really see it happening in my physical realm around me. And I want to discover and look and seek and see what all of this is about, because this is not only changing internally, but it's changing my external world too. Everything is looking different, which leads into 9 of Swords, the nightmares. I think with this new idea, this new type of physical, material direction, this transformation is happening so fast that the night, there might be some stress and some nightmares as well. So this is, I think, a mixed, a hodgepodge. There's hope, there's something new coming, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be processed by you very easily. This might be some kind of challenge too that you haven't been willing to look at, that's tied into this. Maybe there's a new idea for a new way of earning income or having some kind of abundance. They have this idea and everything is moving forward, but something starts getting too stressful for you. You start worrying about if this is actually the right path, because this just is going too fast and it seems too good. That's what it is. You start questioning that. That's like, no, wait a minute. There's something about this that I don't know if I can trust. You're not sure if you're protected, and you might be feeling like this is going to expose you or make things difficult because maybe you feel you're not ready. But don't give up hope. Don't give up hope yet. Whatever this new thing that's going to be showing itself or expressing itself or coming through in your own head, and you want to actually like act on whatever it is that you're thinking about, I don't see it as an easy process, but we'll get through it. You'll get through it. The stressors, that's where the escapism comes in, because sometimes things are just too much. Sometimes things move too fast. This transformation, something that was, I think, kind of thrust upon you maybe, and now you really don't want to face these things, and you know there's something in your mind or something in your heart that says, okay, this is a good thing. It is a new beginning, but it's hard to let go and let that happen and let that flow. Okay, so let's look at April, May, and June to see how this progresses. April, May, and June. Spirit, 3 cards for April, May, and June for Cancer for 2021 in relation to this 12th house escape. How many cards? Oh, 3 cards fell. So let's start with the first one. Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Luck is going to turn. Hanged Man. And last one, 6 of Swords. Okay. Okay, so these months are going to be, we've talked about some of the stressors and maybe the nightmares causing for wanting to escape. Wheel of Fortune. It made me think possibly gambling. I don't know if that's a form of escape. I don't know if that's a form of how you want to or can deal with some of these stressors. If it's not gambling, some sort of risk taking. So you can spin this wheel, and you might get, you have an equal chance of getting great or bad or just content or annoyed. I mean, I feel like there's risks here that are being taken because the stressors, because you're afraid of this new stuff that's coming in that really wants to help you heal, and it's coming so fast, and maybe you're just taking risks and not making good decisions as far as trying to escape, which holds you up. So Hanged Man, is about a little bit maybe stagnation or just being kind of restricted or hanging around. But he's also looking at the world from a different perspective. So I'm thinking you're realizing this escapism, whatever form of escapism that you're using to deal with your stressors, is not progressing you forward, but it's also, you're having that time to kind of, okay, you're going to stop and look at things from a different perspective. You're going to see some of the behaviors again, because you do want this transformation. You do want to let go of some of these behaviors that are not helpful to you. You take some time to think about it and try to gain perspective to raise your vibration so you can get out of this kind of I think it's a rut. Like, every time I feel like there's something that will come up and you're like, yeah, okay, that's a good idea, and you get excited, but then something comes back around and you're like, oh no, wait, okay, maybe this, blah, 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 what if this, those types of things. And then sometimes I think you get a little bit of maybe a high off of risk, right? Whether it's gambling or some kind of something where you throw something out there and see what you get. And I think you stop and you're like, okay, this isn't working for me anymore. This is one of those things that I want to let go. I want to I want to choose differently, because this feels like it's almost controlling me. And I see that there with the 6 of Swords. So you're going away from the choppy waters into more clear, calm waters, into this beautiful landscape. This card, it's kind of a specter that's like pushing the boat. For me, that's like the past. That's okay. This old self is, I'm going to let go, and the lessons you've learned, the swords, the ideas and stuff that you've learned from this process, probably even from before this, all of this, maybe this has been going on for a year already, and this is kind of where it's progressing. You're moving on. You're letting go of this stuff that you're the stressors, and you're realizing, okay, this is not helping. I'm letting go. I want to be in control. So that leads you right there into the Leo. I want to be the one that is going forward and having control and taking care of things and being responsible, and not having life happen to me. More life is happening for me. All right, so let's get into the summer months. July, August, September. Spirit, I would like 3 cards for July, August, September for Cancer for the year 2021. 3 cards for July, August, September 2021 for Cancer. Let's see what we get here. Under I will, Leo. Okay, first card. The Lovers. Second card. Page of Cups. Third card. 5 of Cups. Okay. Okay. The Lovers, Page of Cups. So Lovers, that could totally be seen as finding new love, or if you're already in a relationship, this relationship strengthening. But because it's followed by the Page of Cups, it's a new love. However, with the 5 of Cups following that, there's a sense of loss and not realizing that there's still 2 cups upright. You do have those 3 cups that are knocked over. And a lot of sadness. And my first impression was a new love, but that new love will come and go quickly. And yes, there will be a sense of loss. Maybe this isn't a person. Maybe this is a new love, or maybe it's not a lover per se. Maybe it's a friend. Somebody you're really close to, or it could be, like a friend or just a mentor. Maybe someone that you really are appreciative of, that you adore, that is new, something that, a new love, something in the heart and soul that comes through. But there's a sense of loss. So going forward with your own will, the sense of this, because the 2 of Cups are still up, I want to say that, there's still love, but there's something is lost. Something you're grieving. I don't think necessarily it's losing a lover. There's still love. There's still hope for love. Or maybe there's just a separation. Like you guys hit it off really, really well, and it was just so great and intense. Something happens, and you just feel this sense of loss. And then, of course, change comes in. Something that's near and dear to your heart that causes change. Well, let's see what October, November, and December have in store. Spirit, 3 cards for October, November, December for 2021 for Cancer. Fall months of 2021 for Cancer, having to do with this change and this sense of loss. Oh, too many. Okay, there's one. One fell. Let me take a look here. Page of Wands. Ace of Swords, Three of Wands. Okay. All right, so this year for you really looks like an up and down type of year, and I wish that I could say it's going to be smooth and easy going. However, at the end of this year, if you look at these cards, these are very positive cards. The change that comes through gives you a new creative endeavor. You have these new ideas. So these new ideas fuel you actually seeking and going out and acting upon these new ideas. I believe it does involve travel. Maybe you're moving away. Maybe that's part of this transformation, as part of this kind of stress and loss and gambling and risk and people coming and going and dealing with seeing your shadow side and looking at it, accepting it, embracing it. A little bit topsy-turvy here. But it's all, as the bigger picture, it's all for growth. And you will have that growth and you will have a new beginning. And I do see you traveling. You're going to go to new places. And I think that this, why it comes in with the escape, like you're not a negative escape, but it's time to, like, again, let go and move on. It's time to escape this nightmare, this stress, this risk-taking, this trying to run from your shadow self. You're going to go through this year and go through these changes. You're going to have your own will. You're going to take control. And change is inevitable. Things are going to happen. There's some kind of loss, sacrifice, something. But it's for the greater good. These two, like Page and Ace, like that's brand new stuff. New beginnings. The sword being, a new idea, a new mental type of something comes to mind. As the Page, it's like actually doing something about it. It's not just a thought. It's you're a person who has this thought and now is acting on it. Whatever this creative idea is, and I think, that it takes you to faraway place. I don't know if it's vacation. I don't know if it seems more permanent than vacation, but it could start out as, I'm going to go here to see what it's like. And I think maybe you might choose that's where it would be to apply this new idea, that when you're this new place that that you're traveling to, maybe you will want to move there. Maybe you will meet someone. Maybe you'll find the things that you need to actually bring this idea into fruition and go for it and keep going, so that you are whole and you're connected again with your shadow self. Maybe this is more about embracing the shadow self. Both sides of you, sun and moon, light and dark. And it's a new, it's a new love. There is a sacrifice of whatever this transformation is. You have to let go of that part that you don't like, accept both parts of yourself, and change will come. And then, you will go into this new way of seeing and being and feeling and believing and behaving. And I think you're going to really, really like yourself. And I think it will end the back and forth, up and down, risk, no risk, hide, run, this kind of energy that's just kind of floating around. I think you're going to get a grip on it by the end of the year. You'll understand the change, the cycles, and you are going to be much, happier. Can you see now? Okay, 2 more cards. So, as I mentioned earlier, these are cards from a fairy deck that I have, a favorite fairy deck. The fairies, I do consult with the fairies when creating a reading, creating a spread. We talk, they help me, and they have told me that they want to be a part of this reading. So for these 12 readings that I'm doing for the year, they want to be introduced. So here you go. I'm going to see if they have any, if they have advice, if they're just going to cheer you on, if they want you to know something that these cards haven't said yet, or just a reinforcement of what we've already talked about. So let's take a look here. First card, trouble. I find this card funny. Can you see? Okay. I'm going to pick one more. Fairies. Fairies card. Okay. So, I'm not sure if you know anything about fairies, but they can be troublemakers. They're mischief makers. With this divine protection and the fairies, I do believe that the fairy realm is something that's within your grasp, and that while, yes, they are around and sometimes they cause mischief, know that it's not because they're being, mean. That's how they're helping you to grow, to show you what you need to see, which is probably some of those shadow figures. So with this divine protection, I don't know, maybe you have some kind of being you talk to, or some idea of higher self, or something. I don't think you're void of some kind of spiritual belief, but the fairies and the creatures of the fairy realm are around you. They are part of your protection, and they are the trouble that they cause, which we can see and perceive it as trouble, is really just helping you face your shadow self so that you can be whole, because really that's what they want. They want happiness. They want us all whole and happy and able to help other people of the planet, and to help raise the vibration of the planet. Really, this is all about helping each other instead of fighting with each other. So anyway, that's the fairies. And try to remember what you see. If you perceive something as trouble, if somebody is causing you trouble, it might be for your growth. It might be for the better. Okay? All right. So I think that's everything I see. I would like to thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if you like. Let me know if anything resonated, or what you think. Also share with others, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. It'll help my channel out, okay? Other than that, always remember, be the light that you want to see in the world. Namaste.